As a wonderful new album, that song, which we just played off the disc, we're going to get to a few live songs here in studio, but that song has such powerful imagery.
Oh,
the
it's
stations.
fabulous. And it really, they sketch it in. It's written by Greg Dully and Mark Lanigan, and they just sketch it very lightly. You know, they don't say much. There's not a big amount of words and explication. It's just really clever.
And on this new album, you co-wrote a bunch of tunes. You have always had a wonderful way with words, and we're going to talk to you about that in a moment.
Thank you.
But you've also
I co-wrote too with Doug here. You know.
So we've got Doug Pettibone on guitar.
We have, yeah.
And but then there's a bunch of songs that written by others, like that one written by Greg Dully from the Afghan Wigs.
Yeah.
How do you come about material, Marianne? How do you for lack of a better word, stay current with who these guys are?
Well, I think a lot of it has got to do with Hal Wilner.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm really not particularly current, and I don't really care. When you asked me, told me I could play a song. She asked me to play one of my favourite songs, and I said, let's play Chain of Fools. So I'm not bothered, really, but Hal finds some of these wonderful things, and I do, too. I find some wonderful songs, too. Yeah.
Hal Wilner produced the record.
Yeah.
You've worked with Hal several times over the years.
Yeah.
You, as I understand it, you met on the Kurt Weill tribute. Was that right?
Yes. That's when I guess he had to come and see me, and then I got to like him, and we became collaborators, yeah.
And artistically, and this is just my observation, you and Hal Wilner seem like sort of birds of a feather. Is that
I think we have quite similar taste, and we both have a strong pop sensibility. So, when Hal wanted to do past, present, and future, I wasn't really sure. But I could see that it was a very interesting idea, and we risked it. And some people like it, some people don't, but I think it's interesting.
Those are often the best songs, Marianne, the ones that some like and some don't, right?
I know, yeah.
The song Marianne Faithfull is referring to is Past, Present, and Future, which is an old hit for the Shangri-Las, which some of you may remember, and you really do a dramatic reading of it on the record.
Well, I remember it. I was living in Reading in 1962 or something like that. And I used to listen to it on Radio Luxembourg under the sheets, And I'm sure a lot of everyone around the world was doing the same thing. It was so weird.
Yes.
And, of course, weird is good in my book, definitely. And now I sing it very much as, from my perspective, I'm 64. So it's quite different. It's not little girls moaning about love affairs that didn't work out. It's quite different.
And give us an example of how it's different, if you would.
Well, I guess I mean it more. I sort of mean what I'm saying. Whereas if you're 18, how could you mean it? I don't think it'll ever happen again. Of course it will.
Many times.
Yeah.
So that track is Past, Present, and Future on the CD, which is wonderful. We were going to do Prussian Blue.
We're going to start with.
Yeah, which is one that you co-wrote. Set this one up for us.
Well, I co-wrote this with Dave Courts, who's one of the people I really like working with. And he's not like the most brilliant guitarist in the world, but I grew up with him. He's a really old friend. And I like the way he writes, and it's very simple, and I like that. And we started writing together with Truth, Bitter Truth, and then we wrote, I can't remember what it was called, on Kissing Time.
That's right.
What was it called? Love, Life and Money? No, Love and Money.
Yep.
That was it. And now we've done this, and it's not much, but I kind of like them all.
Marianne Faithfull is our guest live on the radio here at WFUV.
Thanks, darling.